Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to Free License class. Again, we are going to discuss some question paper. Okay, let's move. The T wave of ECG indicates. So we know that ECG have P wave, Q wave, T wave, etc. So in this, we have to find which is the correct representation for T wave. So the options are atrial depolarization, ventricular depolarization, ventricular repolarization, atrial repolarization. So we can look into the answer. So here is the answer. So here you can see the waves in ECG and the representation for each wave. So the P wave denotes depolarization of atria in response to SA node triggering. And QRS complex. QRS complex represent depolarization of ventricles triggers main pumping contraction, and T wave represent ventricular repolarization. Here one ST segment is there and PR interval is there. So this PR interval is the delay of AV node to allow filling of ventricles. This ST segments is the beginning of the ventricle repolarization should be flat. Okay. So the answer for this question is option C, that is ventricular repolarization. Moving into the next question. During the urine formation, the filtration of the blood at glomerulus is option A, active process, B, an osmotic process, C, a pressure dependent physical process, and D, a non-energy mediated transport process. So from these options you have to find the correct option. Okay, so for this we can look onto a diagram. So in this diagram you can see that blood from the renal artery brings metabolic waste, okay, like urea, excess water, useful substances to the kidney tubule. So what happens? All small molecules like urea, glucose, amino acids are forced into the kidney tubule by blood pressure. So the blood pressure helps in the filtration. Okay, so the answer for this question is a pressure dependent physical process, not an active process, not an osmotic process, not a non-energy mediated transport process. It is mediated through pressure. Okay, so the answer for this question is option C, a pressure dependent physical process. Okay, let's move into the next question. Okay, so here you can see that it is a flow diagram and name the chemicals. They are asked to find out the chemicals named A, B, C and D in the proper sequence. So in this flow diagram it is a chart showing the change of decreased arterial pressure to increased arterial pressure by some chemicals. So you have to find the sequence of the chemicals in the right order. So we can go for a diagram and find out the answer for this question. Okay, so from kidney, renin is synthesized. Chemical known as renin is synthesized. Okay, so the renin from kidney and angiotensinogen from the liver together helps in the formation of the second chemical, angiotensin 1. This angiotensin 1 with the help of AZE produce angiotensin 2. Okay, now the four chemicals are ready, that is renin, angiotensinogen, angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2. Then this will help to increase the arterial pressure. Okay, so this is the way in which decreased arterial pressure is back to normal, that is it get increased to normal. Okay, so the answer for this question is option D. Okay, now the core body temperature of a human rises above normal. Which of the following process would be initiated sequentially for thermoregulation? So here are some processes which are taking place when our body temperature increases. So what are the process? So here in the option it is given that peripheral vasodilation, increased rate of respiration, tachycardia, bradycardia, then decreased rate of respiration, vasoconstriction. Likewise, everything is given. So we have to find which option is correct. Is it vasodilation or vasoconstriction? Is it increased rate of respiration or decreased rate of respiration? Is it tachycardia or it is bradycardia, etc. like that. So here in this picture you can see when temperature gets high, temperature increases, the temperature receptor initiate heat releasing mechanism. That is, superficial arteries are dilated. So vasodilations are happening, causing flushing and increasing heat loss to air. Blood flow is not diverted away from the digestive system. Sweating initiated in the skin. Thyroid stimulates cells to decrease the metabolic heat production. So the body temperature decreases. Okay. And our heart begins to beat fast. That is, our respiration rate increases. So we will feel increased respiration rate and increased heartbeat rate, that is tachycardia. So the answer for this question is option A, that is peripheral vasodilation, increased rate of respiration and tachycardia. So the correct answer for this question is option A, that is peripheral vasodilation, increased rate of respiration and tachycardia. Okay, moving into the next question. So Graves' disease is associated with insufficiency of thyroid hormone, excess of thyroid hormone, insufficiency of corticosteroids, excess of growth hormones. So we can go for a diagram and answer this question. So here you can see that Graves' disease is an autoimmune disorder that causes hyperthyroidism or overactive thyroid. With this disease, your immune system attacks the thyroid and causes it to make more thyroid hormone than your body. So here you can see two pictures, that is normal thyroid and enlarged thyroid. So this enlarged thyroid is due to the overproduction of thyroid hormone. So the answer for this question is option B, that is this Graves' disease is associated with excess of thyroid hormone. Okay, so this is all about today's video. So if you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also click on the bell icon so that you will get notification when I upload new videos. Okay, bye bye, take care.